Who's a little menace? Who's a little menace? Digi boy, who's a little menace? Yeah, that's you. That's you. What's up, guys? I need the computer. You guys might be thinking, what the heck, Jacob? Why are you sitting on the floor on a stuffed dinosaur when you got a perfectly good desk right there? It's because I used the desk last month and I'm trying to keep it interesting for you guys. Today we're talking about my month, what month was this for me? Month 8 class, 3D Animation 1. My month 8 could be your month 9, your 10, maybe your 7 or 6, somewhere in that area. It was my month 8 because I had 2 prerequisites done. I say it every month, but I keep saying it just in case this is your first experience video that you've watched, you know, from me. So, boom. Let's just go ahead and get into this. First, we're going to start off with some general class information. Then we're going to talk about the assignments, the teacher, some tips, and then we're going to do an in short all at these times presented right here. Cool. So let's get into this. Class information about 3D1, okay? Well, fun fact, just a few months ago, maybe 2 or 3, this used to be 2D animation. What? I think it was the teacher that told us that this 2D class got turned into 3D because another 3D class got turned into another project and portfolio class. They're like, truthfully, we know people want to go into 2D, but 3D is where most people will get their job. Take out 2D, give them 3D. So that's what they did. And I also found out 3DF way back in March when I did that. That was supposed to have a culmination of everything in 3D animation. It was supposed to have modeling, rigging, animation, all this good stuff. I don't know how long ago they did away with that, but they were like, wow, that's way too much to cram into 1 month. So that's why it's just basic modeling. But yeah, that was just some fun facts about other classes. Now let's get into this one. You had 1 lecture a week and it was 1 hour long. And it generally was from 5 to 6, although you didn't exactly need to watch them on Tuesdays, because Tuesdays was the live lecture. But you didn't really need to watch them. I know, kind of mind-blowing, right? Because they have podcasts. Now on FSO, on the little website portal page where it's like, here's week 1 and your assignment's there. It actually, each week, comes with practice assignments, right? I mean, I guess we're sort of getting into the assignments part of this. Each of those practice assignments has a YouTube video made by one of the teachers, and it's just, sometimes it's 6 minutes long, it could be up to 20 minutes long. I don't remember a 30-minute long one. Maybe there was. Each practice assignment comes with 1 up to 3 videos showing you basic skills on how to do this. So it's more like you're learning from a YouTube playlist on how to use certain tools and tips and tricks rather than learning from a teacher that's giving a lecture, you know? Granted, though, the lectures are, they're helpful. I watched 3 of the 4. I didn't bother watching one of them just because it was covered in the podcast YouTube video thing, and I figured I didn't need to watch the lecture. That's kind of all that there was for the class info, aside from the fact that you had 5 assignments in the month, and that's a perfect tie-in, so we're going to talk about the assignments now. Let's get into this. The assignments, okay. You had 5 assignments. Just mentioned that like a second ago. 1 big assignment per week. It's your big project of the week. That's how it's going to be. You had your week 1 assignment worth 15%, week 2 worth 20, week 3 worth 25, and week 4 worth 30. So it's building, it's back-weighted. I think that's the kind of term that you would use for something like that. And then the 5th assignment is your professionalism. That one's super easy, takes about a minute to do. And it's not like in the past classes where all you have to do is hit mark as completed and you get your 10%. This one, crazy stuff happens. You gotta read 2 paragraphs of text on the website, and then you have to get into a Word document and type out, I understand, the 2 paragraphs, and upload it. Easy. So yeah, it takes about a minute. Okay, week 1. This is the fun week. I mean, they're all pretty much fun, but this is the week where you're like, holy cow, I'm actually in an animation class. I've been waiting for this way before, since I came to Full Sail. I've been waiting for this since like 6th grade, when I was sitting there watching SpongeBob, and I was like, holy cow, someone gets paid to make something like this. I can make something like this. And then 2012, Avengers came out. I was like, holy cow. I want to work on an Avengers project. And then Infinity War came out this year, and shoot, dang, that one was cool. Getting off too many tangents. Get back on track. What was I even talking about? In week 1, you're learning basic stuff in terms of animation. You're learning how to set keyframes and all of this and that, how to move keys, how to duplicate keys and such. You're also learning basic translations, rotations. We didn't do any scaling in this class. I'm sure that's probably to come though. And all the models in this class are already pre-modeled and pre-rigged. You don't have to do any of that. This is simply animating. So yeah, if in 3DF you weren't a great modeler, or in model creation or project in Portfolio 1 you slacking off just a little bit, but not slacking, but not getting those grades you wanted, maybe you're going to be a great modeler. Not modeler. Maybe you're going to be a great animator. Different jobs in the production pipeline. Yeah, production pipeline, that's what they call it. Boom, so maybe you're an animator. And if you find this class to be a little harder, maybe you're a modeler, maybe you're a rigger. I'm sure there's hundreds of other jobs in this pipeline. Those are just the ones I know right now. Cool. Week 1, let's finally get into this. Week 1, like I said, basic translations, rotations, and your main project of the week is an obstacle course. You're taking a ball, pre-rigged with a squash and stretch thing, and you're just gonna start it up in the obstacle course box that they give you. It's gonna tilt by itself. You're just gonna do whatever you want. There's no rules, kinda. You get to animate this ball however you want. I guess the only rule you'd call it is physics. You have to play by physics. If it bounces high, the next bounce is only going to be half as high, then half, then about half, and eventually it's going to tweedle out and just roll. You're going to want to make sure that you roll the ball correctly, make sure it's not sliding. Like if your ground's here, you want to have it roll. You don't want to have it like that, you know what I mean? I think you'll know what I mean, especially if you watch the videos. Then what else? There was something else. Oh yeah, settling in. You don't want your animation to just end. You want it to end and then kind of rock a little, you know? It settles into its final pose. So that's basically week 1. I'm sure I edited in my week 1 stuff. We're gonna move on to week 2. Here are all my projects from week 2. Week 2, we learned to work with forward and inverse kinematic rigs. I think the only forward one we used was in one of the practices. Yeah, I think all the rest were inverse kinematic. Pretty sure of that. Because that's the one where you like grab the wrist and it moves the whole arm and elbow with it. And then for your elbow, you just got a pole vector telling it where to point basically. So yeah, that's inverse kinematic. Your final project is a hammer swing. You're taking an already modeled and rigged arm that's holding a hammer, and you're gonna have it swing up and hit a nail. Fairly easy. You get to finally play with the fingers, you know? Like you're gonna have a hand that you get to do stuff like that too, you know? It's awesome. Even just something as simple as a hand, you know? There's just something, like in week 1, you're squashing and stretching the ball. You're like, yeah, that's fun and everything, but I wanna get to a character. And then week 2, they give you an arm. Like, holy cow, this is awesome. And then you're, boom, right on the hammer. Week 3, you thought the ball was fun, and then you thought the arm was fun. Week 3, you get the entire character. It's a very basic character, very, very basic, but you get an entire character. You get all of the controls to the head, the neck, the spine, the arms, the pole vectors to the elbows, the legs, the pole vectors to the knees, the hips, the rotations, the fingers. You get it all, except for facial expressions. I'm pretty sure that's gonna come in the class that I'm going into. 3D2 is what I'm going into, but let's keep talking about 3D1. So in week 3, I didn't do any of the practices aside from one. I did one practice, and in that first practice, they're telling us all about the controls, how to move everything. And I was like, yeah, this is definitely something I need to watch. So then I watched the lecture, and I was like, okay, AJ's telling me some stuff. Oh yeah, teacher's name is AJ. I was watching that, and it was just seeming so easy. Like, I don't know, maybe it shouldn't have seemed that easy, but it just did. I don't know why. Maybe that means I'm meant to be an animator. That'd be a pretty cool meaning, you know? Your main assignment is to take 4 poses that they give you that some guy took a picture for. You just gotta recreate those poses with the model they give you. Easy. I mean, super easy. Week 4. Week 4 is the buildup of weeks 1 through 3 combined. Okay? Week 3, you made 4 poses. You're gonna take your first and second pose, and you're gonna animate the transition. In week 3, you're just doing the poses, and it just shifts right to the next one like nothing. It's like, here's your first pose, here's your second pose. But in week 4, you're gonna get that transition from first pose to second pose. It's not gonna be a straight cut. You're gonna get to animate it, and it's really fun. See, a lot of you guys like to know how long I spend on some of these projects, and last month I spent 87 hours in the entire month. This month, on total required homework assignments, I spent 11 hours in 1 month. Last month, the lowest number of hours per week that I did was 18. That's a pretty big difference. I'm gonna guess maybe with the required assignments and the practice assignments I did, I may have spent 18 hours total in the month, but that's still a giant difference from 87. Weeks 1, I watched the lecture. Week 2, I did not, and week 3 and 4, I did. Week 2, I just got everything I needed from the YouTube video, so set. I think that's all of the homework stuff. The next thing ties into the teacher stuff, so we're just gonna talk about the teachers. Teacher 1, I guess, because I don't know how this really works. Professor teacher guy was AJ. AJ is awesome. He's fun. He's interesting, you know? He seems like a cool guy. And he said that he's gonna be my teacher for this past month and the up and coming month that I'm going into. So I was like, this is cool. This is cool. So AJ does the live lectures. Sean, he does the grading, it seems like. So here's how the grading works. Like, this is pretty awesome, I'm gonna say. You might not like it if you're a little nervous having other people see your work. And it gives you a feel of who you're working with, you know? So Sean does the grading. How he does it is, he downloads all the videos you guys submit as homework. He opens them all up. He screen records, like I do sometimes on my laptop. He watches everyone's video that they turned in that week and critiques everyone in one video. AJ uploaded it. AJ put in the grades. Then we as students can click on that link, take us to YouTube, to Sean's page. We can not only see what he pointed out about our own projects, see what he said we can do better, but he also critiqued things on other people's homework that we can see too. So like, I saw homework critiques for everyone else and myself. That's pretty cool. It gives me a feel of who I'm working with. It gives me a feel of how I fit into the pack, you know? Because sometimes when you're an online student, you don't talk to anyone. And you're just kind of like, dang, I wonder how my work is kind of shaping up compared to everyone else's. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And I'm going to warn you, Sean is blunt. There's no sugarcoating anything. If he likes it, he's going to say, awesome, this is working, this is great. But if he noticed something that's a little off, he's going to say something along the lines of, this isn't working, I see what you're going for, but maybe something gets fixed. I think this is a fantastic way of grading, because in past classes, they just give you your number. Boom, you're done. In this one, they tell you what they're feeling. Sean does a great job at grading. There was even a time where he looked at my post from week 3, the one where I'm like, my model's like this. He said something along the lines of, I don't think it's right, but I respect your creative decision, or something like. He tells you how he feels, and then he'll grade you. So yeah, with grading videos like this, I just think it's awesome. Great tool, I love it. Okay, my only tips for this class: do the practice exercises at least in weeks 1 and 2, and spend some time with your model in week 3. That way you get a feel of how this thing works. But I don't feel it's completely necessary to do all of the practices in weeks 3 and 4, because you're working with the same model. By that point, hopefully you got a feel of how it's gonna work. But definitely do them in weeks 1 and 2, because you're learning something brand new. You're not gonna just pick it up like that, you know? It's gonna take some time. I learned this one by watching one of the lectures. I think it was the first lecture, actually. AJ said, the great animators try to break their rigs. And I was doing that while he was lecturing. I was playing with the little squishy ball, and I was pushing it to see how far I can get it to the ground. And he's like, animators try to break their rigs. They want to know the limits of the rig so that they can get the best out of them. Dang it, this dinosaur's really pushing my head over. You know, break the rig. Spend some time just seeing what limits it has. So in short, I know this has been a long video. Thanks for sticking around. I appreciate it. Boom. In short, for those of you that just wanted to skip to this point, what can you expect? 1 hour lecture. Mine was from 5 to 6 p.m. on Tuesdays. I don't know when yours is going to be, but it'll likely still be an hour. You can expect a whole bunch of YouTube videos made by one of your teachers specifically for these projects and practice assignments so that you can see what your goal is for the week, you know? You can expect 5 assignments in the entire month that are required. You can expect to animate in week 1 an obstacle course, week 2 a hammer swing, week 3 4 poses, and week 4 animate a pose to another pose. If you are like me, you'll probably spend around 11 hours of required homework time. I don't know how much time you're going to spend if you're a faster learner than me or a slower learner than me, but I would guesstimate around 11 hours for the entire month. You can expect your main teacher to do the lecture and a secondary teacher to do the grading, and you can expect videos of the critiques for not only you, but for everyone in your entire section per week. That's cool. Tips I have for you: do the practice exercises, try to break your rig, and I just thought of another: find someone that is blunt. I feel like since the teacher that grades it is very blunt, he's going to tell you how he's feeling, and if you did awesome, great. If you've kind of slacked off on this one, on one person's, he said, it looks like he spent 10 minutes on this. Another one, someone really didn't even do the assignment. He opened up the video, he said, so you didn't do the assignment, good job, and then clicked off, and I'm sure they got a bad grade. So he's blunt. So my tip is find someone that is blunt, someone that's going to be completely honest with you. For me, that's Bailey. Find someone that's just going to be straight up honest with you. That's the best thing you can get for this class. Have a buddy. So yeah, that is my, in short, and my entire experience in 3D animation. That's it for this one, guys. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to try to answer them as best I can. But I'm super pumped to go into 3D 2. Be expecting some videos from that. Yep, that's about it. I'm going to get out of here because I'm going to go make something that's super awesome. Okay? So stay around for, I think, it'll probably be next week's video. But yeah, stay around for something super awesome. Like I said, happy to answer any questions best of my ability. Facebook, Tetrad Art of Jacob Feazel is my art page. Twitter, I'm not on there a whole lot, but I still have a Twitter at TATAOJF. Tetrad Art, the Art of Jacob Feazel is what that means. Instagram, Tetrad Art, no spaces, no caps, no nothing. Like I said, glad to help you as best I can. So that's it for this one, guys. If you would please like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. See you guys later.